Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. You don't want to miss any more of my videos. I am showing you a devotional series that just launched this month in the ByTheWell4God shop. It is a printable devotional written by Judy, and it is called Embracing the Hard Stuff. And this first part of the devotional is going to be rejoice. And so I really loved what Judy kind of focused on. And we are looking at Romans chapter 12, verse 15, and also Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. So what I'm doing here is I have a TN where I'm keeping my digital devotionals and working through them in here. Sometimes I do my journaling right in there, but this week I actually want to do it in my Bible. So as you can see here, my verse in Romans 12:15 is actually, there's some bleed through, which is fine. You can see on the other side, I had a very bright, bold, beautiful page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and journal on the opposite page on the back. And even though there's some bleed through, I'm going to go ahead and cover that up with some pattern paper. So here you see me basically measuring the pattern paper. I am going to cut that at 9 inches tall, and then it's going to be, it's 4 inches of margin, but I cut off just a little bit more. That way it can fit perfectly within that box. So it's more like 3 inches and 3/4. So you'll see me cut off a little bit more of that. So this is just one of the ways that you can go ahead and deal with bleed through. I don't get bleed through a lot, but when I use Distress Oxides, I do. And so I either cover the other side with pattern paper, or you can actually work with the back. You can add more ink. I just decided to use this beautiful pattern paper that I already had in my stash. And this was gonna help me just make that wall for the home. So here I cut out the printable, and there's a door, and I love this doorstep. And what I did was I laid it on the pattern paper that I used on the background of this page. I cut off the excess, but the bottom part, because I printed this out on white sticker paper, is still sticky. So it's gonna create a hinge effect. So I'm kind of laying down that bottom part, and that way I can flip it down and I can put my journaling in the back. This is a great way for you to make use of all the space. Just maybe tucking in some journaling in the back or making a pocket. I love doing that. It also adds some interest to the page as well and some dimension. So here you see me cut out the title that I want to use for this page, and also this journaling card that I will add behind the door to write my journaling. I love the little details that were in this printable. This little light, it was super cute. So I want to add that just to add a little bit more decoration to my faux house on this page. So what I did was, because I wanted to glue it on, I just cut half of that sticker paper backer. And so now it's kind of hanging off on the door. So it's going to go ahead and flip up and down with the door. So in order for me to remember when I flip through this Bible after years or my children do, that there's something back there, I'm gonna kind of let the journaling card hang off the top. So I go ahead and make sure that it peeks up just a little bit, and then I add that to there. Great thing about printing on sticker paper is that it has adhesive already, so there's not a lot of need for glue, which makes me a happy camper because it just makes the page even easier to add on. So I placed my title at the top, and the title says, "I'm happy for you." So in this devotional, Judy really takes a look at envy. And she says that one of the disciplines that she has been working on to be a regular discipline is for her to respond to others' happiness as saying, "I'm happy for you." And even though she may feel a tinge of envy, she now is able to say with all her heart, "I'm happy for you," and rejoice. She says that the verse in Romans 12:15 says, "Rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep." I found it easy to be moved by someone's tears, but how was I reacting to someone's joy? I was ashamed to realize that my focus was often on me. But a little voice would whisper, "But what about me?" as the green joy stealer called envy would creep up into my heart. I've been there before where someone shares maybe good news with you, and I'm usually really good at rejoicing with other people. But there have been times, usually in those hard seasons, where maybe you're waiting on something on behalf of God and you're not seeing that come to fruition, but you're seeing everyone around you being blessed. We've all been there. And there's that tinge of envy, not for what they have, but for the fact that you're waiting and they are receiving. So I love that she shares this and she opens up her heart. She also says that the envy at its root is declaring that God isn't loving enough to give me good things. We know that our God is good and he's good at being God. And you know that God has blessed you in the past. So if we have seen that blessing in the past, we know that we're going to see it again. So here I'm just continuing to build on this page. I added a window above my door frame there, and I also added the verse. If I can't circle the verse, I like to make sure that the verse is referenced in some way. So I love this verse. It's kind of like a nameplate that I put right over the house. I'm using one of the ByTheWell4God bow clips that I just tied in a knot. And then I also put joy right at the top. I wanted that to be there. That way I can remember what this is specifically speaking about. And then I write out the verse, verse 15 of Romans 12. I like to include the verse, of course. And I also add in that key point that Judy talks about with envy and how it's kind of just saying, you know, that God isn't good enough to give us good things. And we know that that's not true. And so that's a truth that I wanted to place there. At the end, I just finished that up with saying that I need to practice rejoicing with others as a regular discipline. We all think, oh, well, envy is not really my issue. But there are those times where that can try and creep up in our hearts. So if we keep that as a regular discipline, then it won't. So that's a beautiful thing for us to reflect on in this season. I am using my favorite VersaFine mini ink. VersaFine black ink is my favorite black ink, and I have a mini one, and so I'm using that just to date my page. And then I remember that it came with some tabs, which is perfect for me to put behind this door. Again, when I'm looking back and flipping through this, or maybe when my children are flipping through this, or grandchildren, it's easy for them to know that they can move certain things if I have tabs, and it's just a way to remember that you can move and flip or, you know, open something. So I'm adding this tab at the side of this door. And it also brings more of that yellow into the page. Just using my Tim Holtz mini attacher for that. And here's a last look at my page. If you want to pick up this digital devotional, I'm going to link it below. That way you guys can pick that up. Heads up, it's an affiliate link. Thank you for supporting my channel and being here each and every video, darlings. God bless. Love you guys. Bye.